there. There you go. So I will call this meeting to order. The Seed School of Los Angeles County Board of Directors meeting, November 23rd, 2021, is called to order at 11:03. A quorum is present. The first thing we will do is a roll call. We've already acknowledged the recording. I've already gone out of order on our agenda. We will do a roll call. I will start with myself. You just have to say present or here. Ruth Stalford, here. Rod Hamilton.
Here.
Sophia Echeverria.
Here.
Well, that's our quorum. And joining us, Jillian Juman and Alaire Tetrault, right? Okay, and Kyle is trying to come back to us. The other thing that we need to do, given the life of COVID here, and continuing to do things by Zoom, we need to, I need to make a motion to adopt this following recommendation. So let me read it to you. So this allows us to continue to do meetings via Zoom because of what we state to be the case. So board findings pursuant to Government Code Section 54953E. The Charter School Board of Directors determines, that's us, in accordance with Government Code Section 54953E1B, that meeting in person will present imminent risks to the health of or safety of attendees pursuant to Government Code Section 54953E3. The board has also reconsidered the circumstances of the state of emergency declared by the governor on March 4th, 2020, and finds that the state of emergency continues to directly impact the ability of the directors to meet safely in person and/or state or local officials, well, that's not us, continue to impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing. So I'm going to bring that motion to adopt the following recommendation that I just made. I need a second.
Second.
Rod seconds that. All those in favor say aye. Ruth?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, Sophia. Motion to adopt the language as just read is passed. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the first big order of business. You good with that, Jillian? Okay. The first big order of business is approval of the temporary site lease.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give everybody sort of the context of that, as you know, we have been negotiating with American Jewish University to use their site for the period of time that until our permanent campus is ready for us to move in. That you see, I've sent you the lease so that everybody can look at it. It has been fully vetted and negotiated by our attorneys. And it also has been vetted by our Seeds Foundation's insurance brokers so that we are clear that we meet any thresholds that need to be met and that we are able to do that. Let me see if Kyle, I think we've lost Kyle. Let me just look for Kyle. So do you have any questions related to the lease?
Not at this time. Mostly just having flashbacks about when we had leases at Trinity College and some office building down on K Street and the Children's Museum. So seems pretty par for the Seed course.
Right. You know how this works.
I would say that this is what's exciting about it is it's a fairly available space in the sense that we can resume all of it, which I think is kind of the happy part of COVID. I mean, there's so many sad things about it, but students are going to feel like this is going to be their entire campus. And that's very cool. So I just wanted to like throw that in there, that it's a different feel than kind of sharing a campus or kind of sharing a space. This is going to feel like their home for the year and have a lot of the same resources. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Right. And I think that's a great point, that this is actually a school campus. So we're not repurposing some other space that is wonky, so that is exciting. And it's a beautiful location, and we will all make field trips and before any students arrive on campus. Since I think Kyle is not able to get, we've lost him. I think he's having
He
real.
said he's rebooting his computer and we'll be back soon.
Right. He was joining us. Well, I think if you guys we can move right into voting on this if you guys are comfortable with that. All right, so I will sorry, I'm checking my notes. I will bring a motion to the floor to approve the lease between American Jewish University and the Seed School of Los Angeles County, as you have all seen it. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Sophia. All those in favor say aye.
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 Majority passes the motion. Motion to approve the lease with AJU has passed. Thank you very, very much. Let's see. So I say we promised you we would be short and sweet. So the next piece, okay, so I'm just going to quickly give you guys a high level, because this is Kyle's piece, but I'll just give you a high level overview just so that everyone understands. So the lease, conforms to what revenue stream we're going to have at our fingertips. So everyone, so we would never have entered into a lease if we didn't think we could afford it. And this is based on a total revenue that we're anticipating fiscal year 2021 to 22, somewhere around $4.3 million. Ooh, here comes Kyle, perfect timing. I'll let him take it over when he gets settled. You there, Kyle? You're back?
I am. I'm on my phone. My computer is very unhappy this morning. So
Sorry, are you okay? I was just about to give the high level overview of the availability of funds. Do you want to go over it, or are you able to from your phone?
I can't. Give me just a second to open my file that I had to close. But I would just I'll start, Ruth, and you can feel free to jump in if you want to add anything. But I think basically we've got a significantly larger number of kind of first of all actual fundraising that's in the books as of the close of October, and then I think we've got a pretty strong forecast for additional grant funds coming in by the end of the year. So I think combined with that, we closed October with about $2 million in the bank. There's about 600,000 of that that's owed back to seed facilities. However, I think that there's basically, if we're thinking about whether or not we can make a $100,000 deposit check right now, there's ample amount of funding available. And it looks like that will continue through the end of the year based on kind of our rough current year zero budget. So that's kind of the high level. I can pull up some of the details of that if we want to get into it, but I think we're in really good shape for now.
Yeah, I don't think, unless other people want to see it, I don't think so. Because I think we're going to get, in our next board meeting, when we have more time, we can get deep into all of that stuff. Our next board meeting.
Sounds great.
Yeah, unless anyone has questions, please chime in. All right, nice. Okay, you good to move on, Jillian?
Yep.
All right. So I think, Kyle, so the next thing that this was a board resolution that we meant to slot in at other board meetings, and it just sort of kept getting pushed to the side. So we need to do this, we need to get this done. And this is a resolution required by law to provide disability insurance coverage. So we've obviously complied with that, but we just need to pass this resolution. So I sent you the resolution so you could see it. So I don't think you need me to read it to you. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Jillian, Kyle? Anything related to this?
Kyle, is there any some pinpoints that you feel like are most important for the board to know before we move to voting?
All I'd say here is this is kind of pretty much every ex-ed client elects this certain type of unemployment insurance. It's a school employment fund. And we just require board resolution to kind of move it forward. It's a pooled, I think almost every like community college, school district, most charter schools participate in this. So I think I would describe this as about as close to a formality
Traditional.
as you can go. So,
Yeah.
but happy to entertain any questions if there are any.
Rod or Sophia, do you guys have any questions about the SDI resolution?
No, I move that we adopt the SEI resolution.
Great.
I
that.
second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Aye.
Great.
But thank you, Kyle, for giving the description that you did.
And then just moving into public allies. So this is not one that we actually need to vote and unless you want to, but it's just like an update. We had originally 4 public allies that we were going to be working with. It was actually we got 2 for free through the public ally program, which actually Alaire, who's on the call, came from that program. So really smart, great folks come out of the PALA program. We had 4. They had a large dropout rate this year, so we only ended up with 2 and then now down to 1. So we moved from having a voting item where we were looking to spend more 44,000 down to 24,000 for 1 ally. So not a voting item most recently, but certainly an update on kind of where we are. We're spending 24,000 for a public ally for 10 months, which is actually a great deal. They supplement a lot of the other kind of training and monies through their kind of grant writing through the program. So great deal and hoping to kind of develop that ally under CDLA umbrella. So any questions about public allies or anything there?
Excuse me, I know it's just for the 10 months, so it sounds like there's a certain rate per month, but are we their only job? Sorry, I've lived off of that amount of money and it's not a lot, and I'm just a little worried about this person. Are they going to be okay?
So the public ally, they supplement other parts of their payment, including they have an additional stipend. The 24,000 is only coming out of our money.
Okay.
So that's why it's a cool thing. She's also a student as well. And so many of the allies, particularly in the LA program, are like a student and doing this program or doing 2 sites actually through the PALA program.
All right. Okay. That thank you for that context. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that is 24,000 in LA is no joke.
All right, cool. Okay. That sounds very reasonable. Okay.
Jillian, do you think we will get some more allies down the road, or is that?
I don't know, and nor do I recommend it necessarily at this point, but I'll keep y'all kind of updated on that. I think we probably should move towards doing some more part-time folks. Yeah, I think, and I can talk about a little bit more later on, but I think we're going to need some folks who have some experience canvassing, doing some community outreach. The PALA program in Los Angeles is really beginner folks who have not entered into the work stream, which is different than what I've experienced in other programs. So they take a lot of development. And I think right now we need a little bit more experience out there in the field. So that's what I'm looking to do is post for some temp support and kind of get out there. Any questions regarding that? Make sense or any thoughts? Okay. Cool. So let's move into, if you're okay with this, Ruth, student outreach. Actually, that blends right into this. So if there are some questions or if there's any advice or thoughts you have of someone who would like to work part-time, so it's 20 hours, a lot of canvassing, outreach, community stuff. We need about 2 to 3 extra folks, particularly so we can hit up Lancaster in the way that we need to. So we have a strategy plan for Lancaster, Palmdale, South LA, certain parts of Inglewood, and then some community outreach folks. That's been our kind of priority moving forward. So if you have any ideas of folks who might be interested in doing some of that work part-time, just let me know. That would be really helpful. Right now we have 9 applicants who have submitted their applications. It's nine applications, 5 families. 2 of them are coming from Leimert Park And the rest of the families are coming from the South LA 90044 area, which is actually right down the street from our school. So that's promising. We've only been up and live for about 14, 15 days. So we're getting out there. Of course, I'm always impatient and want 500 families tomorrow, but I think it's a good start to say that we're getting out there. We're doing a lot of outreach with LA Centennial is working with us to do some outreach for next month's family engagement. In the next couple of weeks, also, we have some family engagement, so that's exciting. And we're working with certain CBOs who have really reached out to partner with us, including ones that are right local next to the school, as well as ones that are kind of working out into Palmdale and Lancaster. So excited about that. I think where we need the most help, honestly, is like foster care. They've been attending our info sessions and are really excited, and they're sending me like fun emails, but we're not able to kind of do the direct outreach to families yet. That bridge hasn't been crossed, even with a little bit of outreach to them and some pushing. So I think that's where we need some help. And probation, they're sending stuff around. Yeah, I'm looking at Ruth too. They're sending stuff around, but they haven't really like engaged us to allow us to come in yet. My guess is more time is just needed, but any resources that y'all have in those areas would be really helpful, particularly as we move into outer Los Angeles County. And that's it. I think we have some excitement. Vox Academy, we also went there last week, and parents were very excited, apprehensive a little bit, but very excited. They're excited that we're in their neighborhood. So I think Vox will be a great partner to Seed LA, and they are not planning to build a high school in the next 5 years, which is good news.
Oh, okay. That could be a really good partnership. Cool.
Right down the street. Really great philosophy. There's just a really great crew. So I think that can make a lot of sense for us. That's my update. Any questions or thoughts or anything?
I'll reach out to people, see if I know anyone working in the foster or social work areas here in LA County, and I'll get back to you. But thank you so much for that update. That's exciting.
I think so too. Awesome. With that, if there's no other questions, I'm going to pass it back to Ruth.
So we don't have any need for a closed session today, so we can just move right beyond that. And then the next agenda item is listed as December forecast. And we will be replacing that down the road with something like new business or something. We'll use that as a place to capture some of this upcoming stuff. Before you get into your forecast, Jillian, I wanted to make sure, because we have so much coming up that week of our next board meeting is December 8th. But we have our event on December 9th, right? We have the party at AJU on December 9th at 5:30, and everybody should have received, information about that and an invite and all of that. But so we have on the 8th, I just want to make sure everyone's calendars are in sync. We have on the 8th, our board meeting at 9 a.m. We have on the 9th at 5:30, the AJU cocktail party. And then on the 10th, which I don't think people really knew about, is the Seed Foundation is going to be out here, obviously, to attend the party. But we're going to do a site tour. So they're going to take the Seed Foundation down to Vermont, Manchester. They're going to do a site tour, and then they're going to go back to a location where they're going to hold their board meeting and have a luncheon. And we are invited to participate in all of that. And it'll end up being something, from 8:30 to probably a 2. I'm going to send all this out. I just want everybody to sort of get it in their minds if they want to participate. 8:30 to 2. Seed Foundation folks would love to have us all there. But that's, 8:30 to 2 is a long day for some people who have to work. So it can be, I'll send you guys the actual schedule. Maybe you can pop in and out if you can't make the whole time. hopefully you'll have met everybody the night before, but I just want to make sure people get that stuff on their calendar because I know there's been a bunch of holds sent out and it's been a little confusing. So we're going to clean all that up so people know what's going on.
Oh, I am coming to the event. I am bringing a guest, and I am really looking forward to the site tour the next day, mostly just because I'm taking time off from work to do it.
Oh, good. Oh, they'll be so happy that you can be there.
No, but really, I am looking forward to it because right after that, I'm actually flying back to DC for the holidays. So it'll be a nice kind of way to start the weekend before the flight.
Right. Well, you'll probably be on the flight with some people. probably be on the same flight with some people. That's
Sophia, do you have some details on the 10th or you blocked out that day?
here's
No,
what are you talking to me?
No, Sophia, I didn't know if she had,
all I know is that it's a site tour. So I was assuming that we were meeting at the construction site and just going over the progress of things. That's my impression of it. But no, I don't have anything more concrete than just sort of the calendar placement. But that might be because there isn't much more to site tours.
Yeah, here's what I have, and I'm going to share this. I literally just got this right before our meeting, so to share with everybody. It looks like so the Seed Foundation folks are going to be at the Marriott. I'm actually not sure which Marriott. So
the JW Marriott LA Live.
oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, actually. That's okay. Because there's other JW Marriotts. Okay, got it. So they're going to be near downtown. That makes sense. Okay, so they're going to leave the hotel at 8:45. They arrive at this, well, okay, somewhere between 9 and 11:45. They're going to be doing a site tour. They're going to be down at the site, neighborhood tour. They're going to return back to the Marriott. And there's going to be a lunch and board meeting from 12 to 1:30, and then farewells and departures. Just so you know, that's what the current schedule that I just got. But I'm going to send this to everybody so everyone has it.
Mm-hmm. Great. That's helpful. I think that's part of the forecast, which I think is great. We also on the 7th are going to, I've invited some foundation folks to join me in kind of door to door talking about Seed LA and Watts area because we have not gotten out there yet. So the afternoon of the 7th at 2 o'clock, both Metro and the foundation, myself are going to meet and do some door to door. So I'm hoping to have a large crowd there. So if you're available and willing and have some good walk-in shoes, would love to see you there and just let me know and I can send out the calendar invite to you. So that's on the 7th in the afternoon. And then we'll probably go for a beverage afterwards. So if you want to join for a beverage, that's always kind of fun. So we have a meeting on the 8th. I think ultimately the goal there is to be able to give a nice projection of some of the budget for year 1 through 5, knowing that things are still in flux. We're figuring out what salaries might look like in Los Angeles, right? Some things are easily transferable. Some of it is not as transferable. So we're making sense of that. So to kind of have a conversation there and to also talk a little bit about what fundraising could possibly look like over the next couple of years and get your thoughts there. In addition to that, and something that I hope that we add to our agenda is to talk a little bit about how partnerships are going. We have a lot of them. We have one with XED, we have one with the foundation, we have one with LACO, we have one with Metro, and then we have one with the county, which is separate from LACO. So a lot of partnerships. So I think if we can kind of go through not only what the contract is saying, but we're also saying like, how is it actually working on the ground? And then I can give some recommendations on what I think is going really well and where are some pockets where I'm a little bit concerned that I think we can brainstorm as a team on how we want to combat and move forward in Los Angeles. So that's my hope for forecasting for the 8th. Is that fair, Ruth, or do you have anything else you'd want to add?
No, I think I would just add that to Jillian's point, one of the things that we are doing, and we've talked about this, but it's really being done, is we have, we have one of our attorneys who actually created a lot of our partnership agreements, doing a summary of what each of these agreements say, right? So that we will have that before that meeting, but this will be a pretty packed meeting, just so everyone knows in terms of scheduling. So the hope is that people will get all of that material ahead of time, be able to digest it so that we can raise some great questions, but that will also help us understand who all these entities are, how they interplay. So just so you know, that summary is being done. It was missing one of the agreements, so we had to go back and have it updated. But just so you know, it's underway. Hopefully get it out to you all in time to really digest it. But yeah, no, that sounds great. I think that'll be good for everybody. Any questions about that?
I saw a thumbs up from Rod, so he's excited. All right, very good. Yeah, there we go.
Woohoo!
Yeah. And I think with open session, my guess is we're good.
Yeah, there's no one else here. So if someone else was here, we, we're okay.
Yeah.
Who else joined us? Well,
Yeah.
all right. So unless anyone has any questions, you know where to find us. So just fire off an email if something comes up. Look at that, you guys, we did it. Our last meeting went a little long and I felt like we were off our game a little bit because we usually keep our meetings really short. So I feel like we got back to that. Just saying. But thank you, Rod and Sophia, seriously, for making the time so that we could get this done. And Alaire, thank you so much for stepping in and keeping this together for us with Woody's absence and really doing such a great job. And Kyle, thank you for preparing everything and just being available. I know this is a really busy time for everybody. And so just wishing everyone a happy and healthy holiday. And, thank you so much. So it is 11:29. The Seed School of Los Angeles County Board of Directors meeting is adjourned. I will stop the